Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for our second Thanksgiving Recess Checkout Forum. Today, we're just going to be discussing our guidelines for a proper checkout and how you can choose to be successful to ensure that um, you don't receive any judicial consequences or fines or anything of that nature. I apologize, my computer is just moving a bit slow. So on our agenda today, we're going to discuss the checkout and check-in dates, some pre-checkout responsibilities, checkout day of responsibilities, check-in day of responsibilities, what an improper checkout is and what an improper check-in is, the consequences to both, how to complete the recess accommodation form, upcoming forms, and questions or concerns that you may have. So your last and final checkout date is November the 27th, 2024 by 4 p.m. Okay, November 27th, 2024, 4 p.m. You can, of course, check out before November 27th. Make sure that you talk about this with your resident director or resident assistant, but you can check out before the 27th. However, your last day to remain in the residence halls is November the 27th, 2024, 4 p.m. Check-in from Thanksgiving recess is December the 1st, 2024, 12 noon. You cannot check in before December the 1st, 2024, 12 noon. Pre-checkout responsibilities includes thoroughly cleaning your room, your bathroom, living room, and kitchen. Make sure that you sweep and mop your floors, wipe down all counters and surfaces, ensure that your bed is made, ensure that all clothes are put away in their respective organized areas and storage spaces. Make sure that you remove all trash from all trash cans, including trash cans that may be in your bedroom, bathroom, kitchen, or living room. Be sure to properly dispose of your trash by taking it to the garbage cans and dumpsters. If you notice that a garbage can or dumpster is full or overflowing, please take your trash to the next available disposal location. Lock all of your windows and secure all of your valuables. If securing your valuables, such as your laptop, iPad, important documents, social security card, passport, if securing them means taking them home with you, please do so. Or if you have a sort of safe or lockbox, make sure you secure them in that way. Unplug all electronics that could pose a danger in your absence. So anything that has maybe a lot of extension cords or things plugged into your surge protector, maybe you have a portable heater or your flat irons or anything like that, make sure it is unplugged. You do not have to unplug your refrigerator for Thanksgiving recess. However, we do ask that you unplug all electronics outside of your refrigerator that could pose a danger. So I want to go back to the cleaning piece for a minute. If you are living in a suite and you're living in shared spaces where there is um, shared common spaces such as the living room or bathroom or kitchen, make sure you and your roommates and suite mates create a plan, have a meeting, discuss how you are going to divvy up these responsibilities. That way, you all aren't responsible for anything that is left like undone, right? You want to make sure you plan properly by meeting with each other to discuss who's going to clean the kitchen, who's going to clean the bathroom, who's going to clean the living room, right? Make sure you discuss with one another when you're leaving for Thanksgiving recess. That way, you ensure that all of these cleaning responsibilities are taken care of before the last person leaves. You don't want to leave the last person with all of that cleaning or disposing of trash, right? You guys are roommates and suite mates, so make sure you meet to equally divide the task and discuss how you're going to ensure that you all have a um, clean room before everyone checks out. Okay, we can move on to the next slide. So on checkout day, which is November the 27th, 2024, 4 p.m., you want to make sure you visit the resident assistant desk and inform your RA that you're checking out for Thanksgiving recess. Make sure you go to the room with your RA for your final room inspection before you leave. It is very important that you visit the room with your RA so that you can ensure that if there's anything last minute that you need to take care of, you can do it. After the RA inspects your room and ensure that it is left in the required condition, be sure to lock your windows and doors behind you and the RA. Finally, complete the checkout form. Do not leave without completing the checkout form. Don't try to complete the form on your way out. Don't try to complete it as you're leaving or heading to the bus or to your car. Complete the form before you leave the building. What happens often is students start the form, and then as they get in the car and they get back with family and they're chatting and having, discussion, you forget to hit submit. And then you're charged an improper checkout fee because you simply forgot to hit the submit button. Do not leave without submitting your checkout form. Some tips to be successful: ensure that you ask your RA or your resident director questions if you have any clarifying questions. No question is a silly question. There is no such thing as too many questions. Ask the questions so that you are thoroughly prepared. If your resident assistant doesn't mention the checkout form, make sure you ask about it, right? You know that Ms. Jackson is telling you here on the form that there's a form you need to do. It's posted, it's in all of the emails that I've sent out, so you know that there's a form. And if your RA happens to forget to ask you about the form, make sure you ask them, hey, I know there's a checkout form. I don't see it. I don't know where it's located. Where do I do the checkout form so that I ensure I am not charged a improper checkout fee? Do not visit the desk until you've completed all cleaning and packing. Do not visit the desk until you're completely ready to check out. Meaning before you left your room, you double checked all of your trash cans, you swept and mopped your floors, you made up your bed, you put all of your clothes away, you ensured that your desk was nice and tidy. Don't come down to the desk until you are completely ready. You don't want the RA waiting for you at your room and you're like, oh, I'm just packing up these last few things. Or, oh, maybe you have a bag of trash and you say, oh, I'm taking that out with me. No, take that trash out before you come down to the desk. Because what happens a lot is students say, oh, I'm taking that bag of trash out with me, and then forget the trash on the floor. And we understand that it could be an honest mistake, but that mistake could, all actions come with consequences. So that mistake of leaving the trash on the floor because you forgot will still have the consequence of an improper checkout. Once you check out, you cannot return to campus into your residence hall until December the 1st, 2024, 12 noon. You cannot return before 12 noon. So please ensure that you plan your rides accordingly, plan your transportation accordingly. Do not attempt to return before December 1st, 2024, 12 noon. Thank you. We can move to the next slide. On check-in day, which is December the 1st, 2024, 12 noon, check-in begins at 12 noon and ends when the desk closes for that day. Make sure you see your resident assistant desk for the desk hours. Our traditional halls typically close at midnight, while our apartments at University Courtyard, the leasing office closes at 9 p.m. Ensure that you visit the resident assistant desk and inform your RA that you're checking in from Thanksgiving recess. Okay, make sure that you complete that check-in form, that you notify your RA that you're checking back in, that you've returned to campus. This is a safety measure. We want to ensure that everyone makes it home safe and that everyone makes it back safe, and that we have a record of it in the event that anything occurs. Make sure, a few tips to be successful, make sure you communicate with your parents and guardians or your whoever is assisting you with checking out and checking in of the check-in time. You want to plan your transportation according to the information outlined here. Okay, you don't want to plan outside of this. You want to plan within the parameters that we've already set. That way you're set up for success and that you don't encounter any improper check-in fees or consequences. Thank you. We can move on. So what is an improper checkout or improper check-in? This may be your first time hearing of the terms. An improper checkout includes anyone who checks out after November 27th, 2024, 5 p.m., anyone who fails to complete the checkout form or fails to clean their room and dispose of trash, anyone who returns to your room after checking out, um, if you are trying to circumvent the process or the system and you're like, I'm going to pretend to check out, but I'm going to just come and sneak back into the room and hang out here, that is considered an improper checkout. Anyone who trespasses during the recess. So say that you never come down to the desk to check out and you decide, I'm going to stay the whole recess, and you haven't taken the proper steps to request to stay or be approved to stay. That is considered trespassing and have serious, serious consequences. An improper check-in includes anyone who attempts to check in before 12 noon on December the 1st, 2024, anyone who fails to notify their RA or their RD that they've checked in via the check-in form, or anyone who returns to the unit during the recess without proper authorization. So those are improper checkouts and check-ins. We'll cover next the consequences to an improper checkout or check-in. We can move on. So consequences include judicial write-up. This can impact your ability to request accommodations for future recesses. So say that you are thinking about requesting to stay during spring break because there's something going on. if you don't properly if you don't follow the proper procedures for this recess, it can impact your ability to be approved for a future recess. It can also impact your ability to apply for university housing moving forward. So it can impact your ability to remain a residential student. Again, if we notice that you can't comply with our policies and procedures, is that you're not following the rules that we've set and the regulations that we've put in place, then maybe university housing isn't for you. The additional consequences include judicial fines up to $2,500. And I say up to because our trespassing, improper check-ins such as trespassing, that is a $2,500 fine, right? If you forget to complete the check-in form or the checkout form, that's $100 fine. However, trespassing and being here when you're not supposed to be, that is absolutely $2,500, which is why we say up to that amount. We can move on to the next slide. So the recess accommodation application did close yesterday. I've been receiving communication from the resident director of Warren Franklin that maybe some of the students there did not see the email, or you said you didn't get the email. Please visit my office here in the housing office so that I can walk you through where the email would have been, and so I can verify if you did or did not receive it. But the application did close as of November 11th, 2024, which was yesterday. Our offices within Housing, Facilities Management, and Student Affairs will be reviewing those applications that were submitted due to extenuating circumstances such as homelessness, academic responsibilities, or abuse. And just so that you're aware for future accommodations, you have to include verification documentation and you must include a detailed description when submitting this form. Again, the form was emailed in various formats via e-news and via the StarRes housing portal, so it would have come directly from the housing email. We can move on to the next slide. These were some examples of types of verification documentation for the accommodation form, but we can move on to the next slide. So we are on today's form, and our next form is Thursday at 11 a.m. If you know that there are some friends or roommates who didn't get a chance to join, please encourage them to join on the 14th at 11 a.m. Look out for December form, winter recess information that will be coming out via e-news and StarRes housing portal. And if you are not returning until the spring, so say when you check out for Thanksgiving, you will not be coming back until spring semester, there's a different checkout process for you. You want to make sure you turn in your key and sign your key card. Excuse me, if you are not returning from Thanksgiving recess on December the 1st. You want to make sure you unplug your personal appliances. So for winter recess checkout, you will be unplugging your refrigerator. Okay, you will be unplugging your microwave, right? You want to remove all perishable items from your refrigerator and from your room entirely. Okay, remove all trash, remove all of the items from your floor. Um, if you have maybe a rug on the floor, um, if you have some containers that you're like, storage containers on the floor, you want to remove those, put those in your closet, put those atop your bed, remove uh, any trash from all trash cans and take home any valuables. So you do not have to take home everything for winter recess, but you should take home your valuables and anything you feel like you may not need. If you did the spring housing application, so if you are here now and you decided, I'm doing the spring housing application that was released last week, I want a new housing assignment for the spring, you must take home everything. If you are requesting a new housing assignment for the spring, you have to take home everything, even if you have not been notified whether or not that assignment was solidified. You must take everything home, okay, for winter recess. So, and I just want to clarify, this last 6 bullets were strictly about anyone who is not returning from Thanksgiving recess and they are returning in the spring. Okay, that's what the last 6 bullets were about. If you just joined us, the last 6 bullets are not pertaining to Thanksgiving recess. They are strictly pertaining to winter recess and anyone who is checking out during Thanksgiving recess but not returning until the spring. At this time, I will take questions in the chat if you have any questions. If you're not requesting to change your room assignment, do I have to complete? When you say complete anything, can you be specific? What do you mean by anything? Are you, I can you be more specific? Because I don't know if you mean, do you have to complete the Thanksgiving checkout procedures or if you have to complete the housing assignment? Can you be more specific when you mean anything? Okay, thank you for specifying. So no, you do not have to complete the housing application if you don't want to move. The housing application that is currently out right now is for anyone that wants to change their current assignment. So that means anyone who wants a new assignment for the spring semester. Those are the only individuals that need to complete the housing application. Any other questions? Any last questions before we close out? Is there anything I can offer clarity to? Once again, you do not have to complete the housing application that is out right now if you want to remain in your current assignment. However, if you are requesting to change assignments for the spring semester, you must move everything out by winter recess. Well, if we have no more questions, oh, I'm sorry. Will this forum be available? Yes, we recorded the forum, so the information will be available online. We will also post the link on our social media pages. You'll get it via email. So yes, the forum recording will be available to students. And we'll do our best to get it posted to the Delaware State University website. No problem. And okay, last statement before I close out. Please, if you are having issues with the accommodations form, you have until 4:30 p.m. today to come and see me. 4:30 p.m. today so that I can help you troubleshoot that. I'm not, I'm not sure if there was some glitch on maybe your end as far as maybe there was a network issue. We did get quite a few applications so I know it did go out successfully. I know that there, students were able to access it successfully. But if you're experiencing issues, please visit my office in the housing office before 4:30 p.m. today. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you have a wonderful day. Please stop by if you have any questions or concerns. I'm going to put my information in the chat. That way you know how to get in contact with me. One moment. Have a great day, everyone. Thank you.